Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 9 of the Lola's Life podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. After a few short words from our sponsor, we'll get right into today's episode. So today I wanted to do an episode on habit tracking because it's something that I really like. I kind of started it, I guess, right after the new year. I got an app that's called Strides, and it's basically like a habit tracker where you can put in the habits that you're trying to form, and you check them off each day. You can say, to get credit for it, you have to do it 5 days a week, or 3 times a week, how many times a month, whatever. You are limited to how many habits you can put in there without paying for like the full version. But so far I've been able to manage it with just using what's allowed in the free version. So it's called Strides. And for me, I found that with the exception of certain things, it was better for me to have it as a daily goal with certain exceptions. For example, one thing I had, which was more of a monthly, so many times per month, was that I'm trying to make it a point to like play more games with my kids, like just sit down and say like, okay, let's play a board game today or whatever. So I put that in as a monthly goal where I wanted to do that at least 3 times a month. So every time I play a game with my kids, I check it off because I'm like, okay, good. I made sure I made a point to do that. And we have horses, and in the winter, I have a really hard time wanting to ride, although I love riding at all times, but I hate the cold. So, but the horses need exercise, and I want to be out there with them. So I actually put that on there as a 2 times per week goal for the winter to get over to the barn and ride my horses 2 times a week. But other than that, I've set up all the habits as daily because I had originally put in, I have a goal that says no snacking. It doesn't actually really mean no snacking, but I was finding myself in a really bad habit where when I'd come home from work, I would be so starving because I eat really good, healthy meals while I'm at work because I bring my food to work with me. But then by the time I get home, I'd be so starving for dinner that I would open up the cabinets and just start eating everything in sight. And then, when it was time for dinner, I wasn't even really hungry anymore because I just ate all this food. So I'm trying to stop that habit. So I can snack, but it has to be a specific snack that I've chosen to hold me over until dinner, not just like randomly eating everything that I can get my hands on in the cabinets. So I set that as a goal in my app, and I actually really like it because it actually really does help me. Like, I love checking things off. So if I know I can't check off that box, if I come in and start just randomly snacking when I come in the house starving, I won't often do the snacking. But anyway, with that goal, so I originally had it set up as I had to have 5 days a week of no snacking to achieve the goal. And there was days when I did come in and snack and I couldn't check it off. So I changed it to a daily goal because for me, it still was better to see it when I did achieve it rather than it saying really that I never achieved it. Because if I didn't get 5 full days a week, then it wouldn't count as achieving it. So I set them up as daily goals, which was really good for me. And I also did 1 push-up per day. I just added recently. And the reason I did that is because I do a treadmill workout every day and I ride horses and everything, and that's kind of all my legs, but I really could improve my upper body strength. And I know 1 push-up sounds ridiculous, but the reason I did that is because I was just listening to this book, Atomic Habits, which is a really good book. I would recommend it if you're kind of into the whole habit forming and trying to create better habits and maybe get rid of some bad habits. But he talks about how you have to start small and build on your habits over time and not just say, okay, I haven't done a push-up in 20 years, but now I'm going to try and start doing 20 push-ups a day. No, just make a habit that you're going to do 1 push-up a day. It's easy, it's achievable, and it's moving you towards your goal. And actually, I found today, I did that goal, that habit, and I'm so far only able to do girl push-ups. I can't do a regular full push-up yet. which I know probably sounds crazy to some people, but that's where I'm at. But when I went down to do my 1 push-up, I wound up doing 3. So it's like once you're starting it, you're probably going to wind up doing a little bit more anyway. But having a little task, a little goal, habit that is achievable helps you build on that. And then you just keep adding a little bit more at a time. So that's why I put the 1 push-up in there as one of my habits to track. So, so anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I think it's really a really great way to kind of keep yourself motivated. And, something else that I wanted to say was that it was really interesting in that book, Atomic Habits. He was talking about how some people seem to have much, much better willpower than others, and those people usually achieve their goals and are able to make changes to their habits better than others. But often it's really not that they have better willpower. It's that they avoid the situations where willpower is needed. So for example, if you, like with the snacking, when I come home, if I had snacks like right in front of my face, readily available, I would be much more likely to snack than if I didn't have them in the house or had them put away in an inconvenient place to get to them. So it's kind of setting up your environment to not have to use the willpower so that you can achieve your, the habits that you want to get without actually having to use the willpower. So it was kind of talking about how people that seem to have better willpower really probably have about the same willpower as everybody else. They just do a better job at taking their environment and making it where they don't really have to put that willpower to use often. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I would check out that book if you're trying to change your habits or form better habits. I think it's really a good way to kind of think about it. And it all does tie back into that progress over perfection that I've been trying to keep going throughout everything I've been doing. That, even just taking that one little step, you're working towards getting better. It's not just, okay, tomorrow I have to do all these things perfectly and this is my new life. No, you're building on it and taking these little steps to make yourself better over time and not trying to change everything at once. Oh, another thing you talked about too, which was kind of interesting, was talking about you really need to focus on the process, not the end result so much. Like people that focus on the process do a lot better in changing their habits and achieving their goals than those who just focus on the goal itself. And I think like one of the examples he gave was, say if a team is focused on winning a championship, but that's all they're focused on is winning the championship, but they're not really, really focused on what they need to do each day to win that championship, they're probably not going to win. But if they aren't so worried about winning and they just focus every day on practicing the best they can and taking those little steps to keep becoming the best that they can, then just by nature of getting that process in place, they're probably going to wind up winning the championship anyway. So it was kind of interesting. I liked that, really developing good processes, which for me is those little steps, thinking about what little habits I want to work on and getting those down and then adding to them. So actually, let me just tell you one other habit that I've been really working on was drinking water, because I never was really drinking enough water. I know it's like a big thing. Everyone's been getting these water bottles and everything. And it made me realize that I wasn't drinking enough water, because I would get like iced coffee in the morning and it'd be lunchtime at work and I'd still be sipping on that one iced coffee and I wouldn't have had any water to drink yet. And then maybe I might have like a glass of water in the afternoon and I would just be busy at work and I wouldn't even realize I wasn't drinking. So that's something that I put on my Strides app, drink water 5 times a day, like 5 glasses or 5 bottles, like a regular size water bottle. I got one for myself at work, and I'm doing that. And it's funny because now that I do it every single time I drink a bottle of water, I check it off in my app. I'm like, oh, I finished. I can check it off. And then, so now that I'm doing that, it's like, I notice now that I'm just automatically drinking the water and getting up to get more. So it really does help working on building these little habits over time, because before you know it, you're just doing it as part of your routine and you're not even thinking about it. So hopefully this was helpful to you. I would suggest maybe that app, or there's others. There's definitely other habit trackers. Or if you prefer to do it on paper, some people use a calendar and they'll just like check it off on the calendar. But there's just something about checking it off and seeing that you completed it that, I don't know, it just makes it so much more motivating. So hopefully this is helpful, and thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.